Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 10th through the 16th. During that time, we have a waning gibbous moon, and that's a really good time for self-reflection, rebirth, good time to make positive changes and get rid of bad habits, negative thinking, and just buckle down and work towards achieving your goals and accomplishments. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: expect powerful change. All right, let's see what's going on with the Gemini collective this week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, I would like to say that my weekly reminder for you this week is that you notice the world around you when it comes to synchronicities. So this could be, an animal that you might not see every day. And, the way I use that is if I see an animal that's not like, of course I see my cat every day, and I have some animals in my yard that I see every day, like my cute little bunnies that are in the backyard or different birds that come to visit. Apparently I have a skunk now. My daughter said I didn't see it, but it was, my kids always tell me that I've unlocked different animals because I'm feeding birds in the backyard. Anyway, where was I going? I just went off on a tangent there. Oh, so if you see an animal, there might be a situation in your life where you need to apply the aspects of that animal. So go ahead and just look up that animal and say, um, whatever animal it is, think of an aspect of your life where you have a current challenge, and maybe that animal is in front of you to give you a message of like, hey, you need to go at this situation like this particular animal would, right? So that's the way I use animals, just to let you know. Um, again, I'm ranting a little bit, but it could be repeating numbers that you're seeing. Those could be angel numbers that you look up. It could be a song or a conversation that you overhear, but watch for synchronicities as the universe speaks to you. It's like a whole other language. And once you see it, it's just there. You see it every day when you're paying attention to it. So those are the little breadcrumbs that the universe offers for you to follow on your unique path. So just my weekly reminder. Sorry about the little rant there about animals, but just my explanation on those. All right. Gemini, August 10th through the 16th. Expect powerful change. Your overall present energy is the Nine of Cups. So, powerful change, but you're sitting in a place right now of kind of self indulgence. You're feeling a little satisfied with the world, which is great. You're just in a good, happy place, and you might be indulging yourself a little bit. You might be spoiling yourself a little, which is fine. I love that for you. Your current situation here is the Nine of Pentacles. So, it's so funny when I've just had both of these cards come out in the Taurus reading before. So if you have a Taurus in your life and you want to cross watch, you might want to check out the Taurus reading. Um, Only because, I start to see the same cards that are coming out across all of the readings, which is very interesting to me. And that's new to me, doing collective readings since I started doing this on YouTube. Reading for an individual, it's one thing, but doing it for a collective is definitely opened my eyes. I'm definitely learning things about how the entire collective works together. Anyway, this is a card for you of, just kind of enjoying the fruits of your labor. You're spoiling yourself here, and we've got two nines on the table. So like I said about synchronicities, you may want to look up the number 99, see if that has any meaning for you. So but right now, awesome energy, and that you're just feeling really great about things. At the root of your situation, all right, is, are you feeling a little bit kind of thinking about the future, that you're just sitting in a really good place um with this eight. So yeah, so you see this guy, he's just kind of moving forward, his cups are full, and it's, that's when you have that, these full cups here of just feeling satisfied. There's blue symbolism here. Look at the blue and the water here. It's just like your cups are so full of emotion, which blue, the water of the blue water signifies emotion, and that things are good. Things, you're just emotionally full. It looks like you're materially full as well. Things are just good for you. So you're kind of thinking, what is next for me? What's out there in the future? In your recent past is the Magician. So maybe you've just newly manifested something. You've been and maybe you've just spent the past week or two just in a really powerful manifestation mode. And I know a Gemini, and I've been watching them manifest powerfully lately. So it could just be that, the stars are aligned for Geminis to really just have, the power that you need to manifest things. Sometimes that changes throughout the year depending on the astrology, right? So and it could just be you're sitting in a really good place of being able to, not only manifest emotional happiness and material happiness, and that's really awesome. What's on your mind this week is the Ace of Pentacles. So definitely thinking about something new coming in, something that the universe is offering you here in the way of this could be monetary gain. This could be, maybe a raise at work or some sort of bonus or something, maybe a side gig something's going to offer you some money with that. But, or, it's just, it could be just a new material thing. It could be a gift that someone gives you. It could be that you go shopping and you get an item that you want, right? So you're kind of sitting in this really good self-indulgent, just everything's very lined up for you right now, which is really, really awesome energy. What is just ahead of you is the Page of Wands. So some sort of new passion or new budding passion that you've been taking part in. And, our pages are kind of our juveniles. So you're learning things. It's a new path for you. You're letting these, if you look on his wand here, he's got these little, budding, like leaves that are coming off, and he's just paying attention and watching them and learning. So could be that you're learning something and that's how you're moving forward in the future, which don't blame you. You're just in a good place to be able to do that. In your advice position is the King of Cups. So as you're going through this very self-satisfied, era, and maybe just this few weeks or whatever, that you're everything's just very balanced for you, is make sure that you're taking on the King of Cups energy, which is not only understanding your own emotions, but also understanding the emotions of the people around you and being sensitive and being, definitely, maybe reaching out to them or just letting them know that you understand where they're coming from, just kind of having those little ones-on-ones with people around you, just to let them know, hey, I'm here. I see where you are, and I appreciate that, because, so just make sure you're taking on that energy. That's in your advice position. And so the king, it's not just about understanding his own emotions and how things work, but also the emotions of the people in his kingdom. So everyone around you, you may just want to kind of check in, touch base, because you're in a good place. You're in a really great place to do that. What is beyond your control this week is the sun, which is some happiness. So definitely, I mean, I love this reading, Gemini. It's just so positive. And if this is your overall reading energy here, was expect powerful change. So maybe you're just entering into a really positive, powerful time right now. Um, if it's not typical for you to be very positive, you're in a phase where you just can't help but be that right now. It was like everything's in its place for you. Everything's just falling into a good place, which I really love. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Page of Pentacles. So we've got this Ace of Pentacles coming in. This page is about a new passion. And are you trying to avoid this, or is it your secret desire is to have something new, and maybe it is something having to do with this new passion that's also going to bring you some sort of monetary gain, or, bring material things to you. So, and that might just be on your mind. This is something that you're going to have to, is this your secret desire for this to be something that's lucrative for you, or are you trying to avoid that? That'll be your big question of the week. But I mean, I'm kind of leaning towards even answering that for you, which is that it may be even kind of your secret desire, that this thing that you're sitting in a really, really good energy, you've got this new passion, and you're thinking, can I make something of this? Can I do something with this? Can I, find a way that to make this a monetary gain also? In your outcome position is the Five of Swords. So, Five of Swords is about, you know, they say this card is about winning through deceit or underhanded tactics. And it's just strange that this comes up as your final card here. Sometimes when I look at this card, I see it as, how I was talking about the King of Cups and kind of checking in with people emotionally. you know, this looks like there may be some kind of, maybe this is you, maybe this is some conflict or something that you maybe do need to address. You know, we've got this cloudy sky here, and maybe words were said, and maybe words were said by you recently that maybe hurt someone's feelings. You know, these swords are on the ground. Did you toss out some words or something that maybe hurt someone's feeling? And why don't you just look them directly in the eye and say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't, give them an apology. Really think about it, but maybe think about that in your own life. Is there someone that maybe you could have been kinder, nicer to, and maybe you didn't, and you owe them a little bit of something, a little apology or something. But and you're in a perfect place, you're in a perfect place to do it. Look at you, everything is just so awesome around you. Maybe you just slipped and had a little moment there. So I'm going to say, think about that, find and seek whoever that is out. You might be one person or two people that maybe you're like, hey, I could have been nicer. What is hidden from you this week? Oh, I love that this is hidden from you, because the 5 of Cups here is kind of grief and sadness. Yeah, you have none of that this week. You're just moving forward in a great spot. I will say, because that came up, so we had 99, now we've also got 55. Those might be two numbers that are significant to you this week. You may want to look those up as angel numbers, Gemini, to see if they have any significance for you. So expect powerful change. And I think this change is within you, which is really awesome. And maybe you just kind of grow a little bit emotionally. And again, you can reach out to someone and apologize if you've done, if you maybe had words with someone in the past couple of weeks or so. All right. Final message here from the Soul Oracle deck for Gemini. Final words: embrace your power. Yeah, I would. You've got the power of that magician just working its magic. It's awesome. It looks like you're manifesting things and just bringing things into fruition. Embrace that, and while you're on top of the world, definitely use that power for good things, right? And definitely bring gratitude into that. Anytime that we're given something special, different, and awesome, make sure that you're definitely being thankful. All right, let's get a self-care wisdom card. What does Gemini need to be doing here in the way of self-care for this week? And the card that comes out is authenticity. Live life for you, not the audience in your head. I love that card. I read through this deck when I first got it, and you just kind of, well, I do forget things. So I love that card. Be authentic, be who you are. And that's awesome. I do love that. So embrace your power, Gemini. Expect powerful change. And if this is some sort of emotional change for you, I do love that for you. You've just got a great, happy week, really good, just balanced, and you're just sitting in a really, really good spot. So look up those numbers and keep those moon energies in mind as you move through your week. Gemini, I really appreciate your time here with me today. I do hope there was something that you can take away and use in this reading. If you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know, did you have words exchanged where you owed someone an apology? Are you on top of the world right now? Are you feeling like you're just in a really good place of powerful manifestation? Have you been doing that lately? I'd be very curious to know. Also, if you like my reading style, of course, please like and subscribe. Commenting also does help with the algorithm, and I would really appreciate that help in that way. Also, if you subscribe to my channel, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much for being here, Gemini, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.